It's a dark and scary place to be when we don't know how to speak to those around us. Hello and welcome. This is Self-Control. This is the podcast that seeks to inspire you just to take control of your mind, your mindset, your actions, the things that you can get your hands on. You can go forward from there and build a better life. Simply all I can do is share with you some things that I'm putting into practice to improve my mental health. Today, let's talk about communication. I'm no great communicator. In fact, before writing this episode, I had a gentleman decline my request to be a guest on this podcast. He said simply, you cannot communicate your ideas well enough to have a bigger audience. It's not worth my time to come on your show. Oof. Apparently, besides the fact that I don't communicate well on this show, I got to a place in my life last year where I realized I am not communicating well with my loving partner, my girlfriend of many years. And as well, I seem to struggle talking to people that I work with, people in daily life that I come across. How about you? Can you relate to that? Can you relate to that? Does it feel sometimes like you're not sure what to say? You find yourself saying the same old things over and over. That's common in relationships. We let it go, right? Are we really growing? Are we feeling that upward mobility in our job, in our relationships? Or are we just sort of on a repeat, on a loop? And even worse than that, when we don't communicate well, when we don't communicate our thoughts and feelings, other people control the flow of the conversation. They talk over you, right? Because they figure, well, you've got nothing to add. I'll keep this thing going. To improve our social standing, to improve our relationships, being able to express our thoughts is necessary. And I'm no guru, I'm no expert, but I want to talk to you today about some things that I'm putting into practice to improve as a communicator. I want to say as well, if you're enjoying this content, whether it's on the audio platforms or the YouTube channel, please subscribe. Like this episode, perhaps share some of this content with people in your life who might find it useful. Any amount of sharing that you can do to help us grow is greatly appreciated. And of course, leave a comment and let me know, how is communication going in your life? Okay, so communication, I want to give you general mindset shift that I had to make regarding communication. I want to give you a step that you can take today to improve your communication. But let's know this. If you can't communicate clearly, you may not fully understand your ideas. If you can't say how you feel about a certain situation or say what you think about an issue in the workplace, for instance, it may be that you actually don't really know. I mean, you think you know. Of course, we think we know what we think. But if we can't say it, and if we can't say it simply, which is apparently my issue, we may not fully know what the hell it is that we are thinking about. And as I say, that's a dark and scary place when we are ignorant and blind to our own thoughts, but there is a light, and there is clarity coming. Let's think about the word communicate, just briefly. From the Latin communicare is to make common. And if we think of the word common, that is belonging to all. To not communicate or to communicate poorly is to keep information inside of you, to not share it, right? To not express it. And this is the general mindset shift we need to make. To keep things within you is to not express. That is passivity. That is to passively let life pass you by, right? That is to let other people dictate the conversation. That is to let your relationships stagnate and not grow because you have not acted to express yourself. Okay, so think about that now. That's the shift we can make. I'm not going to passively let things happen to me anymore. I am going to actively start expressing myself. Well, obviously, if I could do that, I'd be doing it. Here is the step you can take today. Practice. It may sound crazy. It has worked wonders for me. If you struggle to speak to your partner, speak in the workplace, I encourage you to sit in your room or to go for a walk and just talk. Talk your ideas and perhaps anticipate. Well, at work tomorrow there's a meeting regarding whatever, the new garbage can. Start getting some thoughts together about this garbage can. Do you like it? Is it going to be a good thing for the workplace? Are we going to be able to get more garbage in it? Start talking. And I truly, truly encourage you to supplement that practice speaking with writing your own thoughts and reading your own thoughts. That also has done wonders for me as well. When I struggled to speak to my partner, when I struggled to have anything to contribute at work, I can't express what I don't know. And so it's time to start thinking about what I know. It's time to start actively taking control of my thoughts and practicing that process of expression. I encourage you, write, read your writing, speak, record your speech and listen back to it. It might not be pretty, but I truly, truly believe we need to think and express a lot more than we do. And we need to think a lot more about ourselves in order to have enough to contribute, to share, to make common with the world. And those are the sorts of people that do well socially and who do well personally, because there is this flow of experience and expression. And so if you'd like to now get started on practicing communication, practicing expressing yourself, look to what is positive in what you speak about or write about. Now, positive doesn't just mean happy. Positive simply means what is, as opposed to negative. When I couldn't communicate properly or well with my partner, it was quite often because I didn't want to simply say what was. What did happen in your day? How did you perceive it? How did you experience it? What did you say? What was said to you? Some of this, it may feel basic, it may feel dry, it may feel small, but we are practicing now the process of looking at the positive. What is, what has happened, not what could be, not what was, not where I went wrong. What is? Because in this positivity comes what I would call generativity, right? What can we generate? What can we make? When you're thinking about the nothing, the negative, the failings, the how you don't stack up, the how things went wrong, you can't build off of that. But if we start talking about what is, we can build something off of that. And so keep in mind now this mindset shift from passivity, letting life pass us by, from negativity, focusing on what is not. We're shifting now to action. We're going to practice our communication. We're going to actively probe our thoughts and express them. We're not letting life just happen. We are actively receiving life and thinking about it. We shine a light into our life. That clarity comes for us. And that's the mindset shift I truly think that you can make it right now. Start looking at what is. Start talking about it. Doesn't matter how small. Doesn't matter how simple. Look at what it is. Speak about it. Speak about how you think and feel about it. That clarity begins to come. If we don't pursue that clarity, we don't know where we're going because we haven't talked about it. We haven't looked at it. We haven't shined a light on it. We don't have good conversations. We don't have meaningful relationships because we haven't actively pushed ourselves out onto the world. That's the quest I'm on. That is what has been a major issue for me. Holding back, letting life happen to me, not expressing myself to the world. And here I am on a podcast in front of 1,000 subscribers. You can do it too. This is now taking control. This is taking the step towards action, towards positivity, towards expression, building your life, growing your life, imposing, let's say, your life on those around you. And they'll appreciate it. They will, if they truly love you. Because now we're looking at it for what it is. We're confronting reality through our speech. That's pretty crazy. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Please, again, if this is resonating with you, leave a comment. Let me know how communication is going in your life. Perhaps there's someone you'd like to communicate with more. Why not shoot this episode over to them? Talk about it. And in the meantime, until we speak again, I will wish you the best going forward.